Welcome to your fireside chat. I haven't done one of those in a while, so it's time. I'm going to start with a story. This is a story of a client I had actually several years ago, but yet her theme rings true to this very day. Her question was, Carol, I know what I need to do. Why am I not doing it? I sit down at my desk and I don't make the calls I need to make as a salesperson. I know what I need to do. Why am I not doing it? Well, I can tell you this. Now that I look back on it, there are themes that, as I said, ring true to today. And one of them is that this human has ADHD. And at the time, she didn't want to look into it, much less accept such a diagnosis. So that can be one reason. Underneath that, there was a lot of guilt and shame around being less than perfect, and also around being seen as anything that would be considered like a tarnish. She grew up in a family where you didn't really express things that weren't flowery. So this created this need for her to always look good. And when we have this need to always look good, it becomes very difficult to be who we are. So therefore, going back to why do I not do the things I know I should be doing or could be doing, it's because really she wasn't totally willing to accept herself. So that's my story. And if that's you, please keep listening and please consider coming next week on Monday to Overachievers Club, which is free. So here's the next thing I want to say. Being versus doing. You know, all my life, I've been a doer. All my life. And this woman that I'm talking about, same thing. Doing. Always moving, right? Okay. So since she was a mover and a doer, being, especially with the ADHD, was very difficult. Being requires being with yourself. Being requires accepting whatever is coming up. And generally speaking, our society rewards you for doing. But there are dangers of doing, which is the main topic of this video. There are dangers of doing. I have a client currently who sent me a note within the last few days and said, Carol, I'm finding I'm not giving myself enough time to think. I'm always busy doing. Again, this is very dangerous. It doesn't allow us to access our true wisdom. And what happens is when we get quiet, our nervous system isn't ready for that. Our nervous system, which has been used to moving, doing, being rewarded, getting that dopamine, etc., that's how we're wired. It feels unusual, and so we rebel against it, and we go into perpetual motion again. An object in motion stays in motion. And what that can really be is it can be a coping mechanism for pain. Getting it done, go, being productive. Are you busy? Badge of honor. Busy meaning successful. I've covered that in other times. That's the problem. So how do we get out of it? How do we start to be when all the fibers of our fabric of ourselves have always pointed to do, and get rewarded for the do? How do we do that? Well, here's how most of us tend to do it. We tend to look to outside sources. You know, you probably know very well, oh, after work we go get a beer, or after work let's go get a cocktail, or Friday nights, or let's wind down. That's one way to do it, through alcohol. We could do that. One way to do it is, you know, through drugs. CBD is very common now and is accepted. Lots of different kinds of TSH, etc. in certain places, you know. It's an outside way to get an inner calm, right? Another way to do it is exercise. Another way to do it is yoga, breathing. So you start to get the idea. A less healthy way would be, like along the lines of addiction, would be we can be addicted to gambling. We could be addicted to overeating. We could be addicted to TV. Whatever it is that allows our nervous system to calm down. Because guess what, guys? Our nervous system does not want to be on high alert all the time. That's how we get into burnout. That's how our adrenal glands get completely. So if we do keep doing, like I was doing, like my client was doing, like so many people are doing, the only answer to that without adequate rest is burnout, eventual. I have a person I work with now through a networking group. We're accountable to one another. And that person actually had a heart attack, you know, triple bypass surgery. Others of my clients have had heart attacks. In fact, a current client has had heart surgery. So I would recommend you use that as a cautionary tale, and that you don't wait to rest until you've had a heart attack. Although I understand lots of people do. It's just not the only answer. The real answer is taking cues from other people, including myself. I went through some burnout from the spring of 2023 till for probably about 12 months. And I kept going, but honestly, I didn't have much in the tank. And I spent a lot of time last winter reflecting and pulling myself back in. And now I'm realizing that in the wintertime, we must rest. In fact, I've got a friend who's doing the Overachievers Club on May 12th. She's going to be a special guest star. And she's doing a little presentation called Rest to Rise. So mark your calendars for that. In the meantime, keep doing, but do so intentionally. So for example, this week is school vacation week. I do still have, you see my kid up there. He's already graduated. I have another one over here. I'll just kind of show you. There's the other one. Oh, there he is way at the end there. So